Thank you for listening to this podcast from TRE, Talk Radio Europe, your voice in Spain and around the world. For more information, please visit tre.radio.
TRE in the afternoon. Presented by Hannah Murray.
Good afternoon. It's just coming up to 5:10 and you are listening to Men Talk. With me in the studio today is Paul Myers, Scott Walker and Mark Lamb. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Thank you all for coming in. If you are listening at home and you'd like to get involved, you can. Here's how.
To contact TRE, please call 952 78 4000. Email studio@tre.radio. Send us a WhatsApp on +34 645 99 67 95.
What a beautiful day, it's a wonderful life.
A third of men would rather have a glass of rosé than a pint of beer, a study has found. Younger Britons were more likely to snub a pint, as 42% of men under 35 would rather have rosé wine. Many men are embarrassed about ordering rosé when out with male friends, but would order it when out with family or female friends. Come on, don't be embarrassed.
Well, a third of those people are not my friends.
No? Okay.
No, it's got to be a pint.
Always a pint.
Well, in these conditions in the heat, I'd say you can get away with a canya.
Absolutely,
because
yeah.
it does start to get warm. But yeah, rosé wine, I think I've tried it once at a wedding.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite exotic that one time. But yeah.
So
on a
not a
day-to-day
fan.
basis, I'm not going into Witherspoons and ordering a rosé wine.
No. Okay, fair enough. Each to their own.
You wonder where they do the polls. You know, is it done
Yeah.
someplace like Chelsea or something, a very posh area of the
maybe,
UK?
maybe.
I couldn't see getting away with that in Wigan or Manchester, but yeah. But it's
So
changed.
not a fan yourself either?
Absolutely not a fan.
No.
Paul?
I never have a pint, but I would have a rosé, and I
There
don't care
you-
what people
there
think
you
about
go.
it. Rosé, nice. It's lemonade.
Well, that worked out well, actually, didn't it? That's a third of us here, so
There
we
you
based
go.
it around him.
That's
didn't we?
perfectly
Yeah.
right. And you'd order it whoever you're with. You wouldn't think,
Who
I'm with...
cares?
No.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And a distinct north-south divide there as well. We didn't want to cast judgment, but
Yeah,
that
there
worked
you
out
go.
pretty spot on there.
It's really us that don't want to cast judgment. You know that, don't you?
Nice one. Okay. Weather. Talking about the weather, it's one of the most common stereotypes about the British, and now a study has confirmed that we really do love chatting about the weather. Met Office research revealed the average Briton spends 56.6 hours a year talking about the weather. That's equivalent to more than 2 full days, and 60% of those surveyed said the weather is their go-to topic for small talk, beating news and current affairs, family and even holidays. I definitely have to agree with this. When I get sometimes at the beginning of an interview, if I've got someone on from America or whatever, my first question might be, what's the weather like over there? It is my kind of go-to small talk. And not just with British people at all. It kind of is.
I've had 2 people say to me in the last couple of days, Spanish people, que calor. Yeah, it's verano. It's summer.
Yes,
Summer.
exactly.
This is I think it's international. It's just I don't know anything about it. You don't have a dog and they can't say, what's his name? Then the other thing is
The weather. Yeah.
That's a universal thing, something we've got in common.
Definitely.
Well, I get texts from my friends back in Edinburgh and Scotland saying the weather's great but for 2 days of sunshine, and this is August.
Yeah,
you know, and
yeah.
usually the Edinburgh Festival it's pouring rain all the time.
Yeah.
So I think the Scots probably talk about 56 hours a week about the weather because we never get sunshine.
No.
I went up to the Edinburgh Festival twice, and twice I got caught up flying up from London and not taking a coat and then going, what have I done? And twice I had to buy a coat. I was so stupid. I didn't realise after the first time. And you just there you go, it's the same.
Exactly,
Of course I
it's
don't. Getting
August.
on, yeah.
Scottish summer, wind
How
and rain.
bad could it be?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I think this, as Paul mentioned, over here, there's no point talking about the weather in general, is there? It's another sunny day again today. But my father-in-law, who lives in Granada, he's obsessed with the weather, even though he lives in southern Spain. He can tell you for the next 10 days, and it's going to drop down by 5 degrees. There's going to be a low of 12 degrees on Thursday. Wow, can't wait.
It's funny, isn't it? Some
But
people were
I'm
really
not too
quite
sure,
obsessed with it.
Yeah, for me, you know, you just have a look out, it's sunny again. Yeah, I think it could be a shorts and t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Until October.
Yeah.
So you might have long sleeves in the evening.
Whoa, maybe.
It's nice to be able to plan, though, isn't it? That's one of the things that I really love about living here. You can plan an outdoor soiree or a barbecue or whatever without thinking, oh, what about the weather? Whereas in Scotland and a lot of the time England, and you know, you can't plan a barbecue. Even if it's Tuesday, you can't guarantee that you can do that on the Saturday because the weather could completely change.
Well, as we were talking about football before, we're saying it's a great environment to be outdoors over here. As soon as there's a sign of rain, it's panic stations for the parents. Like, is the game still on? I'm like, that is drizzle.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
little droplets, and and then all of a sudden Juan's not coming.
Yeah.
No, there could be a medical emergency if he steps outside in that rain. Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? Even though we've grown up in the UK with rain and it being really, really normal, I do something. I can relate to that. I do sometimes think, oh, it's raining. Are we still going to go out tonight? And there's less people do go out a lot less when it's raining. Because it's like, oh, should we just stay in? Whereas if you did that in the UK, you'd never go anywhere.
Exactly, yeah.
But you do get used to it not raining. So when it does, it's like, we better not drive in this weather. And it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Very
Mentality
strange.
switch.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Holidays abroad are all about escapism and getting away from the routine back home, but it appears the thrill of the new lasts only 5 days, as that is when we start to miss home comforts like a proper cuppa, real milk and the local chippy. 1 in 5 of us has even been tempted to cut a break short just to get back to our home comforts. God, I think that's really sad, sorry, but... Anyway, each to their own. But
I'm a little bit on that list. I work a lot overseas.
Yeah.
If I go to the US, I'm taking Yorkshire tea with me in a Tupperware.
Okay.
I don't care what's happening.
It's the best tea bags.
Yeah, but you can ask for tea somewhere and you get like half a Lipton's and what is this? And, you know, like mediocre water. It's not, no. In fact, I even started taking my own kettle. Because I couldn't I got a little camping kettle and I'd pack it in my case, fly over there, and, you know, it'd come out in the evening at the end of a long day. It's like, so half with that. I wouldn't return home because I wanted a cup of tea.
No, that's a bit extreme, isn't it?
But you still can boil water in America, am I right?
Not very well, because the voltage is low.
No. The
voltage is 110.
really?
So you wait for like 3 hours for a kettle to boil. Whereas we're on 240 volts. You can go in, come back, it's ready. So actually it takes forever in the morning. And you were just watching it and looking at the top. Okay, the water's gone bubbly, so it's only going to be about another 10 minutes now. It's on its way.
Right.
It's weird, but true.
That's crazy.
That's why they don't sell kettles over there very often.
Yeah. That is crazy.
And yet guns...
Yeah, easy, yeah. I can't imagine, like, missing a local chippy. I mean, I guess it depends how long you're away for, but if I was on a week's holiday somewhere, and it's very, very rare that I'll be on holiday for longer than a week, I want to be trying the food of the place that I'm at. I'm not... At most, we might go for an Indian, but certainly not fish and chips or something like that. Not at all. I'd want to be trying all the local food. Definitely, well, that's one of the best bits of going away.
My son came down a couple of months ago and he was staying in Fingarola. And there was a chip shop probably in every second street. So he didn't miss his comforts then. But he did say to me, he says, Dad, it's not the same as having a cup of tea. He says, in the cafes here, I don't like it. But he was like me. When we were back home, we would actually... The water back in UK was good, but I would get bottled water.
Right.
I would then obviously heat it up. Then I'd get a little strainer thing, put it through twice, then have my cup of tea.
Really?
Yeah, I do it. I still do it.
You strain bottled water?
So I put the water, boil it up in the kettle, then have a little sieve thing, pour it through into the cup once, take it back out again and pour another one.
To get rid of impurities?
Yeah, it's just in my head. It's probably that after I do it. And I put a touch of sugar in, I've got to put it clockwise twice. And if I don't, it doesn't taste properly. I know, weird, eh?
I thought you were going to say...
That's weird.
I thought you were going to say, if I don't, something bad will happen.
Oh, that's weird. I don't think football things, stuff like that, being the changing room. But yeah, that's always have a cup of tea. I like that, yeah. And going back years ago, I used to drink a cup of tea out a polystyrene cup. With cups in the house.
See, that's
it always tastes better.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Listeners don't know this, but he's currently got 1 foot in a bucket and an umbrella under his arm.
Weird, eh? But
yeah, polystyrene cup.
Yeah, brilliant.
Oh, filth.
See, I've weaned myself off of tea. I should be a tea drinker, Yorkshire tea, or Tetley's, good old tea bags. But my wife doesn't drink hot drinks.
Really?
So... in order for me to save the planet, I don't boil a kettle for one person, so I'm at a
you've
dilemma.
stopped drinking
And then you can't,
tea.
it should be like shuttle run, shouldn't it? If you make a cup of tea, I'll stick a kettle on. That's just me doing it for myself. So then I've gone off the tea.
Interesting.
And then I'll have a walk outside and I'll go and have a coffee instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time you open the fridge, a dolphin dies.
Is that what it is?
Stop.
It's the tin of tuna, that one, isn't it? That's the tuna's in the fridge.
Yeah. I went off tea for ages. I've never been a massive tea drinker at all. Always preferred coffee. And then I had a cup of tea ages ago and was like, oh yeah, it's all right. So I'm back on it now. But I'll have a cup of coffee in the morning and a cup of tea at night, and that's it.
Yeah.
If I'm out, I'll drink coffee if I'm going for a coffee or whatever. But I'm not like 10 cups of coffee a day type thing at all. So I mean, some people are. Some people are making a cup of tea or a cup of coffee every hour.
Yeah.
Some family in the UK, when we go and every half an hour, do you want a cup of tea? Do you want a cup of tea? No, I had one half an hour ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I took some tea bags up from the British supermarket to Granada for my suegros, the father and mother-in-law, and they were disgusted that I'd only bought 180 bags.
Really?
So that lasts us no time at all. That'll be gone this week. My
That's
God, yeah. So
amazing.
there must be 6-7 cups a day. I don't know what's
definitely.
going on. But yeah.
Funny. We better take a break.
Hannah Murray on TRE in the afternoon.
Good afternoon. You are listening to Men Talk. With me in the studio today is Paul Myers, Scott Walker and Mark Lamb. I have a feeling this could be a very short discussion unless any of you have any really interesting, funny stories to add. Would you dare try the latest trend in stress relief, a yoga session with fluffy chickens?
Sorry.
It's plucking outrageous.
Hey, very good, very good. Have you ever done an exercise class with animals? Because they did like goat yoga, didn't they? That was a thing. It all looks kind of fun and
Does
a bit
it
silly.
count if you go for a yoga class at KFC?
Yeah.
I'm sure
Probably not, no.
Yoga with chickens?
Yeah, yoga with... So there's a picture of a woman in a yoga pose with a chicken sat on her head. And it's the
It's not a
same
gimmick,
with the...
is it? It's just not a gimmick.
I know, it's stupid,
I
isn't
mean,
it? There's
Indians have been doing yoga for 5,000 years, and then
never used
somebody
chicken.
comes up with adding a chicken.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
a gimmick.
No. But you can imagine there'll be people... possibly like me that would go just to see what it's like doing it with the chickens.
Is it a locally sourced chicken? That's what I want to know. Is it being corn-fed,
I don't know.
Because
it looks quite happy sitting on the woman's
the majority
head.
of people don't have their own chickens, do they?
No, I go to an organised class.
no,
With,
it's
you
not
don't just
bring
like
the
go and
chicken
get a
yoga.
chicken off the road
Okay, you
and
just-
take
no.
it home with you and put it on your head while you do some stretching.
What if
One of
you've
the
not
local
got
farms.
great balance, holding some of the things and you stumble on a chicken?
Yeah,
This can't
you
be good, can it?
No, you could trip out or kick the chicken or... Oh. But the ones with the goats looks fun. The goats like climb all over you.
That's just...
I mean, it's stupid. It's certainly no better for you than...
No.
In fact, it's probably worse for you because you're not concentrating so much on the class. You're concentrating on these goats. It's just silly. Okay, go on.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking, isn't there like some yoga poses that have animals?
Yes, exactly.
Down
Animal
dog or
names.
something, or-
Yeah. So you know more than you think.
Well, I was just thinking, actually, I did work in a health club once upon a time.
Yeah, there. So it makes sense, maybe. When you've been to a dinner party with your partner, do you chat about the other guests on the way home? If so, you might have a particularly happy and healthy relationship. Researchers have discovered that couples who gossip together have higher quality relationships and that chatting about others can serve as a form of emotional bonding.
I never did, and now I'm single. Oh, don't
Well, there you go. That's what you did wrong. Should have been gossiping more. I don't like the word gossip, to be honest. I think it
Yeah.
has negative connotations.
Well,
Yeah.
it definitely doesn't help my relationship because when I'm driving home, my girlfriend's sleeping. She's had a couple of glasses of
What did
rosé.
your wife say?
Yeah, that's what happens, but we never have a conversation. She just falls asleep, you wake her up and we get the other end.
Brilliant.
I think 100% in my relationship, yeah. Oh, did you see what Sandra was wearing?
Oh, well, there you go,
Yeah, that's all the... And... Trevor, have you heard about him? Jesus, he's got a new job now, and then he's sacked off Tiffany, and it's all going on. Yeah, it's constant in mine. I'm just as bad as my wife, so I can't say it's all her doing. So I think
we've got Tiffany and Trevor on line one.
yeah. Sorry about that.
I love my ex-wife.
Yeah, imagine. But no, I think I don't like the word gossiping, but certainly coming away from a sort of social event, it's fun to go, it depends who your friends are, obviously. If you've had a nice time, which we really do with our friends, it's not gossipy in a negative sense.
No.
We're going away going, that was such a fun night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Aren't they great? And, it's like we talk about it, but it's always in a positive way because, it's generally a nice thing.
You sort of compare stories, don't you? Say, we're speaking to that guy at the bar. He's he's got a place down in Benham Madden.
Yeah, because sometimes you're chatting to different people, so you can go, I met so-and-so. And,
that's it. No,
exactly.
So I think it is quite positive of you say, but when you put the word gossip in the title, it sounds like
sounds negative. But no, it's nice to compare notes.
Yes, exactly.
Share the evening. Forget doom scrolling. There's a new mobile phone habit that drives our loved ones crazy and could even sink your relationship. Looking down at your phone while your partner is trying to talk to you has become such a widespread irritant that it has been dubbed phubbing, snubbing someone by concentrating on your device instead. Oh, it does annoy me, I have to say.
Disrespectful.
It is.
Disrespectful. 100%. I'm having more fun with somebody else in my hand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it does come up. I have to say, I'm like, hello, I'm talking.
Yeah, I hear it.
Definitely. But you'll go, sorry, so no, it's just a work thing. It's always just a work thing.
It's always the little things in relationships that break up. I like looking at my phone. My girlfriend likes sleeping with other people. It's always those little things.
Yeah, exactly. Always comes down to that. So, I think if you're in conversation with someone, if the person's looking at their phone before you're speaking, then I'll tend to go, sorry, is it convenient? And I do actually mean that. I'm not being passive aggressive. Is it convenient? Are you concentrating on something? And he'll go, sorry, let me just finish this. Or he'll go, no. And then I'm like, well, can you look at me then when I'm speaking? When you're trying to have a proper conversation, I feel like you should be looking at each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%. You got to pay attention, haven't you? It's the part of the conversation. But I think also in our house, sometimes we'll decide to watch something. Yeah. And then I look around and my wife's on the phone. I think I would have picked this if you hadn't suggested it. I'd be watching football, So all of a sudden, get off your phone and watch this. Put the phone down.
It's crazy how we've been... I don't know, how it's just become so normal to be doing that, I think. I'd like to think a lot of people do that. Even if you're really into something, if it goes... I don't know, if there's a quiet moment in a film or in a TV show, I can easily pick up my phone and just have a little look.
But that's the addictive nature of the device.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's totally that.
Yeah.
It's totally that.
Missing
it's shocking.
something better.
One of my friends has actually got over 50 group chats. I don't know if you ever got a lot, Hannah. 50 group chats
few,
on his
but
phone.
Not that many.
And he has this problem that if he has something that shows up on his phone that say he's got them muted, but it'll show up group chat and there's 3 messages, he can't leave. He has to actually swipe them off his phone and read them. So I say to him, I'm not going out with a beer now with you if you got your phone, because you'll sit and have the beer with you, and it just goes dink, dink, dink.
50. I mean, that
over
must
50
be constant.
group chats. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd spend your whole evening online, wouldn't you, with that amount of activity?
Yeah.
And most of the stuff on the group chats is just nonsense.
Yeah, I think about leaving group chats all the time, but then I think, for the little percentage of good it is, I think, no, it's worth it for that, but then you get so much stuff that you don't want to see or don't need to see that's very annoying. People should be more considerate in a group chat, I think. But then everyone has different kind of views. If you have a group chat for a specific thing, you'll always get people that will post like a funny video and other people will think it's funny and then be commenting about it, and other people go, hold on, isn't this just supposed to be for such and such? Or it happened recently on a WhatsApp group actually that was all to do with getting people together to go and watch a show at the theatre in like a month's time, and people responding, yeah, I'm up for that, no, I can't make it, whatever. And then a couple of the guys started talking about football, and it was going backs and forths about football, and the woman who started the group saying, can we stop the football chat please, this is supposed to be, because people people just like go off on a different tangent all the time.
Yeah, you be part of somebody's birthday celebrations.
Yeah.
And it's all going steady away. The location's been announced, the time, the general idea, and then all of a sudden Nigel's son's doing a sponsored walk, and he's probably GoFundMe on there. You're like, hang on a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
What type of group is this? Are we getting it all out for the marketing? You know?
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, it can go sideways very quickly.
Yes, people should be more considerate. Unlike, or like this lady who should have been more considerate. A spiteful nurse who secretly put hair removal cream into a bottle of conditioner in revenge for using her toiletries has admitted administering poison. 34-year-old Kate Atherton emptied half a bottle of conditioner before refilling it with Veet hair removal cream. Her former partner was devastated when her hair began falling out and feared she would be forced to shave it all off. The woman who did this had bragged about her scheme in voice notes and text messages to friends. She's gone to court about this. It was a serious thing. I just can't imagine ever doing something like that. I just feel like this is really extreme. There's a podcast I listen to where people talk about pranks and getting one back on each other, and you know, if your husband does something bad, you know, fun ways to get back at him. And some of them are hilarious, but some of them are really shocking. I can't believe people would go to such lengths and think it's funny.
There's 3 levels of absurd stupidity in that story. Is one, her partner's another woman, I think, from the story.
Yeah.
Is one, she wants to go out with a bald woman.
Yeah.
That's weird. Second thing is then she told everybody about it on group chats.
Yes, which is stupid.
So she wants to get caught anyway. I just, sorry, there was a third thing. I've just forgotten about it because the bald woman thing threw me.
Yeah.
It's just weird, isn't it?
It is very weird. The whole thing's very weird.
I think the third thing should be health and safety, because if you don't know that it's hair removal, and generally when you're in a shower, potentially go in your eyes, this could be a bit of a nasty
She's
incident.
a nurse.
Yeah,
she's
exactly.
a nurse as well, yeah.
Have you ever played a prank or had a prank being played on you?
Well, one of my players, for some crazy reason, decided to super glue my new trainers in the changing room, which he never go near the manager stuff, but he did. So one of my coaches says, "What are you going to do about it?" I said, "I'm going to do nothing." And he goes, "But you can't do that, it'll be a sign of weakness in the changing room." I goes, "No, I'm not doing nothing." Anyway, 2 months go by, and the player was chatting to other players, and I always remember my assistant manager came up to me and he says, "Lammy," he says, "you done something to him, eh?" And I went, "What are you on about?" He got a brand new car, so I went down the fish shop, got an old fish, and what I did was, when he was in the training pitch, I went and got the keys for his car and went on the air conditioning box and put the fish, sealed it, put it in there, and it was there for months. Anyway, he had the car back at the garage twice. They never found it, which I thought was strange. Vauxhall didn't find it, and they eventually sold the car because of the smell.
No.
Yeah. So that week later, I told them. That's what I did. So I put my confession up for that.
That's amazing.
The rotten fish.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And actually, the weather was quite good in Scotland that year for a change.
So it would have really
he had his air conditioning.
bad.
Well, he couldn't put even his aircon on. He used to have the windows wide open. So when he'd come to train, his face would be blue because his face would be out the window. So I do apologise. That's it out there now. Yeah. If my mum's listening, I'm sorry, Mum, but yeah, I did.
That's a good one. Anyone else?
Whoa, I've done a few, which you can imagine. I'm a bit cheeky sometimes, so yeah, probably another shoe-related one that's fresh on my mind. I picked up a group of my mates. They were playing golf in Cabapino, and on the way back I picked them up and I told them we were going to play foot golf. So I said, don't get changed because you'll need your trousers on because the course is quite strict.
Yeah.
So we weren't going to play foot golf. I just took them out on the razzle, go out for a few drinks in middle of August, you know, in 35 degree heat. And I said, but what you need to do before is you need to get some deep heat rubbed in because you get quite a lot of calf and thigh injuries, quads, and so they're all putting deep heat on. And we sat there and I specifically picked a bar where the sun was belting down on them. I say, what's out here? Oh, we wait until the sun goes down.
Oh no!
As the night went on, my friend got a little bit tipsy. He's not the best of drinkers. So I'd managed to remove his shoes at one point and I put deep heat in those for the morning.
Oh, God.
So then he went to play golf the next day and he had deep heat inside his trainers. So yeah, that was a little bit nasty of me, but we're still friends now. So
amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm never going to upset you two. I've never
played a prank, you
I
sure?
don't think I have, no.
Do we think Hannah's innocent enough?
100% not.
I've never liked them. No. I honestly
If we
don't
get
think
the
I have.
payback, that's the problem.
Yeah, exactly. No. Paul, are you not?
No, I'm not going to talk about it.
Okay, fine. You just drink your rosé in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
1 in 5 secondary school pupils have felt pressured into sharing an explicit image of themselves. The shocking study by Vodafone shows that nearly 2/3 of 11 to 17-year-olds later discovered that their images or videos had been forwarded without their consent. The worrying data comes as 85% of parents prepare to buy their child a new phone before they start secondary school next month. But 46% admit to having concerns around their child receiving explicit images on their device.
Our telephone's the end of humanity.
Wow, I mean, it does make you wonder, doesn't it? All the issues we're having. It's supposed to be a good thing, a positive thing, having phones.
I'm wondering.
But
I
there does
think
seem to be a...
I'm going off on a sidetrack here, but you think about it as well. Years ago, we would meet friends. We would say, right, Friday night, I'll see you in the pub.
Yeah.
We're there.
They'll be there.
Now it's too easy just to say, I can't make it, or I'll be there later. Where you made the effort in those days, and you never let your friends down. You're always there. And I remember one time I couldn't make something. My other friend nipped round to tell my mate in the bar that I wasn't coming because obviously I was still in the hospital. And that's the things. And I think nowadays it's too flippant to just text someone, say, I can't do this. And I think it's just the technology and where we are now in the world. I mean, I do worry about my children, especially my daughter. But things that go on now, it's all changed.
But I have to say, with these explicit images and everything, I do think it's kind of down to the parents to, when they're giving kids the phone, depending on the age, but, as the children get to this kind of age that this could be an issue, to talk to them about it and say, please, 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 if a boy ever asks you to send an image of you with no clothes on or whatever, please don't do it, because even though you think he's a nice boy and you're with him at the time, you might not be together forever. He might easily show his mates.
Kids know better. Kids know that adults don't know what they're talking about about anything, and the more they say don't do it, it must be good. There's got to be a different solution than that. I mean, unless your kids respect their parents, which...
Well, that can be the case. That can
I've
be the
not
case.
met one yet.
No, but with stuff like this, it's so... I can't see how else they can do it unless their friend has had a bad experience and they go, oh, I'm not going to do that myself then. But, I mean, it makes sense to not do this,
But there's still peer pressure.
Yeah.
Even if people make mistakes 2, 3, 4 times under peer pressure. Maybe it's a filter that won't allow the camera to do certain things. But that's going to be down to the phone manufacturers to make child-safe phones. And the big, and I won't say international organisations, American organisations to make child-safe social media as well, which they're all resisting because of freedom of speech, apparently.
But how many times as well, if you've been out with friends and you've chatted in the bar or a restaurant, and next again day it'll come up on Facebook or something, or Instagram, an advert or something relating, like at the moment I'm looking for an electric bike to buy. And I get now adverts coming up all the time about different bikes.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking,
Just because you're talking about
and I've not actually went online on my phone.
Yeah.
From there, I went on my computer. It's not linked to my phone to look for a bike. But
here's the funny thing: I design and make electric bikes.
Do you?
And I've been sat next to you for some reason. You chose that choice. Now we could say that's a coincidence. However,
well, we need to chat off air then.
Swap numbers. There you go. Okay, we better take a break before we move on to this very serious subject.
Hannah Murray, TRE in the afternoon.
Good afternoon. You are listening to Men Talk. With me in the studio today is Paul Myers, Scott Walker and Mark Lamb. Excuse me. Girls and boys should be taught about periods in mixed-sex groups to improve their understanding of menstruation. Pupils are being given insufficient information on the subject, suggests a study by University College London. Apparently... Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my throat. When they are taught, it is normally just girls, and it's literally for 2 days, and that's it in total. I don't remember learning about it myself at school.
Did you say something?
Periods.
No.
Yeah, I think I don't remember having any education on periods,
No.
even from my mother or my sister. I didn't have any information.
No.
It was only when I got married I realised, you know, what a significant part of life it is for the ladies.
Yeah.
So I embraced that then. So I was quite happy when, well, not quite happy, I wouldn't say that, but when my wife sends me to the supermarket for some pusher-uppers or some...
I've never heard that.
Yeah, pusher-uppers, those are ones.
Brilliant.
Because in layman's terms, think, okay, I know that one. And then you got the ones with the bat wings and, the other ones. So, I'm quite versed in that aisle now.
Brilliant.
So, which I never thought I would be. Because
that's really good. So you're not embarrassed to go and buy it yourself?
No, exactly. That's it. So I went to a Catholic school, so it was quite stringent where it was boys and girls were very much separated.
Yeah.
I said I didn't have any information given to me by my family. It was only when I got married, and it was quite nice to see her father, because he's got 2 girls, was more involved in that sort of environment, and he understood. Just about educating yourself, and I think if you can get it earlier, the better.
Definitely. I think there's probably a school of thought that I think with parents teaching their sons, probably thinking that, you know, they don't really need to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's probably quite normal, I guess. But do you ever remember learning about it?
Well, I was at a Catholic school as well, and we certainly, if things like arose or thing came up, because remember when we went for, like, they called it, what was it, the sex, not sex, I'm trying to remember how they called it for this school in about 14, 15, and the name they called it, but bottom line is all the boys went, oh, and we all left the room. And then the nun came in, and then the door shut, and that was it, and all the girls came out really quiet, never said anything. And that was about, nobody ever asked what went on or what was said.
No.
But I remember back in the football days, we had at Spartans, we had a women's team, Spartans ladies, and they would get a girl who'd come in from the Football Association once every 4 or 5 months, and they would talk to the girls about their periods and things like that. And again, but we think about the men, we were in the changing room on the next floor, we still wouldn't even speak to them about it, and we would say, oh, that girl's about to chat about this, about the period, but it was a taboo, just wouldn't say anything.
It's weird, isn't it? Because it shouldn't be a taboo for anyone.
Yes.
It should easily be discussed. It shouldn't be an embarrassing thing. It's a really normal thing that happens to every woman. So everybody should be able to discuss. It's a medical thing, you know. It's a shame that it is such a taboo.
I think for men sometimes, or for younger men maybe more so, is it seems very personal. So you don't want to touch on it.
Yeah, I guess. I suppose feeling like
none
it's
of our business.
None of your business. Yeah, no, I understand that. Yeah.
But Hannah, see when you're out with your friends, your girlfriends, do you chat about periods and things that are not really?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's funny actually when you kind of take the mick about a group of girls that will be talking about periods and bras and stuff like that, and getting your nails done, and, you know, really like taking the mick and a generalisation, but sometimes that is what we
if that was a Britain sketch, it'd be taken off the air.
Absolutely. No, sometimes it's true. Sometimes that, not all the time obviously, but no, because it is something that happens to us all, and something that does require discussion and kind of comment, and for various different reasons. And then as you get older and things change, all that kind of stuff. So for sure, there's always stuff to talk about. Yeah,
there's a great film called Padman, and it's about the Indian guy who invented the sanitary towel. And what he was fed up of, because in India it was traditional that when it was that time of the month for the period, that the woman would sleep outside of the house. They wouldn't allow her into the house. But he was intoxicated with his wife, and he didn't want her to sleep outside the house. Yeah. So he invented the sanitary towel.
That's amazing. Yeah,
what a great story. Recommend that. Yeah,
what's it called? Padman.
Padman. P-A-D, not Pac-Man. No.
I was trying to work out the link on that one.
I
went to Catholic school. I didn't go very often.
I love that. Okay, parents expect their offspring to be financially independent by the age of 27, a survey indicates. A poll of 2,000 people with children found that 27 is the average age at which parents think they will stop being relied on. But some expect to remain open as the bank of mum and dad for longer, potentially affecting their plans for retirement or paying off any mortgage debt. 1 in 20 believe their children will be approaching 40 by the time they are financially secure.
1 in 20? that survey was done with a real middle class crowd, wasn't it? If you think that working class kids are going to be financially independent at 27, it's not happening.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Our real world in the UK.
I don't think there should be any kind of expectation, this whole bank of mum and dad expectation thing at all. I know friends who have got wealthy parents who have, literally throughout most of their lives have just kind of called their mum and dad, oh, can you send me some money? They've given him a deposit for their house, their first house, all this kind of stuff. The money's been there, and therefore the money has, just filtered down to the kids quite easily and readily. But that certainly has never been the case for me and lots of other friends. I've never felt comfortable or as a kind of easy solution asking my parents for money. It's always been a sort of last resort, I guess, as opposed to feeling like it's just an easy, can you lend me 50 quid or can you lend me a couple of grand? Or no, it shouldn't be an easy go-to. At whatever age, I don't think.
I think it's harder as well for the kids going in to get onto the property ladder, because back in the day when I got my first flat in Edinburgh, there was no credit check, nothing like that. You went in to see the bank manager, your wages went in I got paid weekly then. So he said, right, you can afford this. What you going for?
Yeah,
and there's your mortgage. So easy. And I went out that day with the paperwork to take to the lawyer's office the next street, and then I signed it and got the house. Where nowadays it's all down on credit score, credit checks, and you're going
and
online.
The prices have gone up
and the property prices obviously has never kept up with salaries inflation. So it's very hard for the young ones to get on the ladder. It's big time.
Any other thoughts on relying on mum and dad for money, either with your own experience with your own parents or with your own kids, and how you'd feel about it?
In my personal view, I think, if you've got a strong, tight family, you can help each other. You need help. It's difficult, as Mark was saying then, to get onto the property ladder. There's so many factors against the younger generation now to be able to achieve what the previous generations did. So if mum and dad can help, as you say, not as a guarantee that, here's, 50 grand, there's your deposit, but working together of, right, we need some money, we're able to pay you it back, or, just thinking of ways to elevate everybody within the family, but not having that God-given right if you pick up the phone and, all of a sudden you transfer that amount of money.
Yeah.
It's what the parents can do to help the kids, but not, give them a silver spoon, that sort of way, because otherwise it's going to be so difficult for them to get anywhere.
I have a story of when I was in Australia backpacking, and I met a girl from New Zealand, and we travelled together for a while, and we literally ran out of money, and we had no money at all, and slept under a bridge for 3 nights. And she said, I'm going to call my mum, and I'll put the tiers on and everything, and she'll send me some money so then we can have somewhere to stay. So I was like, oh, okay. So she phoned her mum, I'm on the streets, and I've got nowhere to sleep. And she really put it on, and her mum was like, oh, my baby, of course, I'll send, and sent her like a couple of $100 quid. And she said, what, you do it with your mum, you do it. And I was like, oh no, I really don't want to ask them for money. She said, no, do it. I said, I'm not putting the tiers on, I'll just explain the situation. But so I phoned up and I explained the situation to my mum, and she went quiet, and she said, isn't it exciting when you've got no money? And I went, what? She said, why don't you go and speak to the Aboriginal people?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, and my friend's going, yeah. And I'm like, no.
Character building.
Absolutely, character building. Absolutely.
That's what you want. So there needs to be a balance.
Definitely. It shouldn't be the automatic. It's just really easy. And I'm so thankful for that. So thankful, because it is an amazing lesson, an amazing life lesson, that money isn't always there, and you do need to work, and you do need to, so I was appreciative of that. Even though we stayed on the streets for a little bit longer. Okay. Joy. Why joy really is the secret to a longer, healthier life. This is talking about just some really, really simple things that I think are good to, I guess, remind ourselves of how easy we can feel joy, I suppose.
Oh, I thought you was plugging the bar down in Portobello. So I've been joycing there on a few occasions.
No.
That's when you actually ask your parents for money down there, I tell you.
Absolutely. So the first thing it says, embrace the good parts of ageing. I think we're all, in general, as society, worried about getting old, looking older, being older, all that kind of stuff. And if we can sort of embrace it a little bit more, as opposed to being scared of it and trying to avoid it, because it is obviously happening to us all, then that could be a positive thing.
What positives are we embracing here?
Ageing.
Yeah, no, I get that, but what specifically what?
I don't know, I haven't read the article.
No, okay,
before.
right. Just check it.
Just going by the headline.
Yeah, because I'm stumped on that as well. The things you might get from ageing might be more financial security or wisdom or and things like that. But I don't know about the physical stuff.
No, I know.
Yeah.
It's hard to
It's more about well-being and not giving a monkeys about what other people think about things. If I want to drink rosé, that's fine. I'm at the age where I can.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is definitely one of the things which is good about getting older, caring less about what other people think.
Yeah.
You know, you always hear these stories.
Because it makes no difference.
Yeah.
It makes no difference what other people think.
Yeah. And you're happier not caring.
Yeah.
It's liberating to not care.
There's joy in poking it to them.
Yeah.
I think as well, like, for one of the things I do with my trading, when I get really, really uptight, maybe I'm trading like 3-4 in the morning when Asia comes online and I get stressed, and about 7 or 8 we have a group chat with a lot of lads who are from America, and they're obviously on during the night because they're trading all the time. And they said to me, what do you do to relax? And I says, this is a weird thing. I says, I take my shoes off, I says, my socks, I says, and I go out and I stand on the grass for 2 minutes and I feel the ground. And they went, you're kidding me on. And I says, that's what I do.
Grounded.
I says because years ago I used to live 15 floors up in a blocky flat, so you couldn't do that unless you're trying to commit suicide. I says, so what I do is I do that and I come back in again, I says, and it just calms me down and have a cup of tea, I says, and then I go again and trade. So some of the young lads now, they say, right, that's what. So from more an aging side experience, that's what I'll say. So it gives me a little bit of joy to actually go and stand on the earth. Maybe when you do back in Scotland when it's pouring the rain and wind and freezing, you can get away with it here. Difference. But that kind of just brings me back down to earth, there's a punny, but it just brings me back down again and it de-stresses me. So from that side,
simple things, isn't it? It's nice to be able to appreciate the simple things, and that is something really simple, as opposed to, you know, some of their answers, which might be, you know, a glass of whiskey and a cigarette or something. What you're doing is obviously a lot more natural. It's free and it's better for you.
And then the aging part of the experience is like some of the young lads. I say, what do you want out of doing crypto trading? What do you want out of this? And they say, well, you know, they do the things. I want a house in Thailand. I want a car. I want this and I want that. And they go through it all. And I say, well, why not give things that, like, for instance, I want to get an electric bike. You know, saying like, so I want to get an electric. So I give myself little targets instead of saying, well, they want like a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. Yeah. You know, and some of them will do this, but they put themselves on so much pressure. But when we get older and enjoy, I want to get the things that I can maybe get an experience and enjoy it.
You're buying experience rather than a material badge.
Yeah. That's it.
Definitely.
Something nice.
Life's all about experiences.
Yeah, you
totally.
Yeah, reading off the same scripts there, just being happy, I think that is joyous, and I've learned from a very early age not to give a flying truck. So I was out there, you know, just enjoying life and just trying not to get involved with that sort of materialistic lifestyle, and just. My father always taught me. My father was an entertainer. Well, he still is. He's just knocking on. But look in the mirror every day. Say, every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better.
Oh, I love
and it always puts a smile on my face because it reminds me of my father.
Yeah.
And then I just have it in my head.
Brilliant.
And then, go get in touch with nature, go out for a walk. You can't beat a good walk, especially down here. You know, you got the beach. Even I'm walking along the boulevard, you see the mountain. Just embrace where you are and just enjoy it as much as you can. Put a smile on people's faces. That's what I try to do.
Isn't it also about living in the now? So not worrying about the past because you can't do anything about it, and don't worry about the future because worrying about it doesn't help. Planning for it's okay, but just living in the now, and suddenly it's like, are you okay now? Can you breathe? Have you got all your toes? You know, can you stand up? Can you reach those toes?
Yeah, it's like, even like going back to the train, there's one lad, he's very successful, but he's a bit upset at the moment because he's only got like 2,500 followers on Instagram.
We've got to do an ad break. I'm really sorry. We'll come back to you.
Talk Radio Europe.
Your voice in Spain.
You've been listening to a TRE production. If you've enjoyed this programme, there'll be another episode waiting for you next week, right here on this platform, where you can also access our extensive back catalogue of shows and interviews. For more information on our live programming, social media channels and apps, and how to contact Talk Radio Europe, please visit tre.radio.